When I do the magic shows, you should see the smile on the faces of those kids, or the laughs. Some of these kids, they certainly haven't seen magic in many cases, but they might not have seen any kind of entertainment, and they're stressed out and stuck in a camp life, and it's just great to see the smiles on their faces. My name's Jamie. I'm a long-term humanitarian of about 30 years. A couple of years ago, though, I decided to put the traditional work on hold and focus on my other passion, which is magic. And I call myself a humanitarian magician. I have a very special magic friend. She's a bunny. She's called Alice. When I produce Alice out of a hat, it's probably the highlight of the show, because the kids just scream with delight because it's a real animal and it's appeared out of nowhere, and we have a great time. She travels around the country with me. She runs around the car, she runs around at home, and she eats everything. She chews my shoes, she chews my cables. She never stops eating. We love each other, and the kids love her more than you can imagine. So I set up this initiative, Magic for Smiles, in Lebanon, where I'm based, because it is a humanitarian crisis, because my priority is to entertain vulnerable children suffering from crises. So I go around Lebanon to the camps, and I do shows for about 40 minutes, and I get anything from like 30 kids to 200 kids. What strikes you about these kids is how ill-disciplined they are, and it's not necessarily their fault. They're living in very deprived conditions, and so you see that when you put them down in front of something like magic, you can see how they can engage in a way that they haven't done before. But their lives are tough. There's a lot of trauma you can see in their faces. So entertainment in the form of magic is a great intervention. I also find that, from my own observation, there's a lot of other benefits. Like, for example, cognitive skills, analytical skills, how you do the tricks. Concentration levels, you should see how these kids, they concentrate in a way that you wouldn't see in a classroom sometimes. Imagination, creativity, levels of interaction. Some of these kids are very traumatized and withdrawn, and they can interact in a way in a magic performance or a magic session in a way, again, that they haven't done before. Also, things like self-confidence, because they get up and perform with me, and this generates ultimately self-confidence. But the more you do it, the more impact. Magic might not be food and water, but you can see that these kids, they really need to play, they need to have fun, they're really stressed out in those camps, and this is why magic makes sense for me, because magic is a form of play, and kids have a right to play and have fun.